Yo, 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 what's good, y'all? It's your boy FRO Thizzle in the building. And today I'm going to be talking about the movies I watched and the two games that I beat in October. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. First movie I saw was Deadstream. And despite some problems, I liked the film. The main character is unlikable and pretty hard to root for at times. And I thought the ending could have been done better. But I had a good time with how the movie escalates and gets crazier and crazier. If you want more FRO thoughts on Deadstream, check out the review on my channel. Yes, VHS 99. I didn't care for this one. This franchise has been pretty hit or miss for me. I only really love one story of the first one. I really enjoy the second one, which is my favorite VHS so far. 3's the only one I haven't seen. I didn't love 94, but I loved the third story. That felt like a fucking bananas, fucking crazy balls to the wall video game. That one was awesome. Hands down the best story in that film. I was disappointed with 99. Didn't care for the first story. Didn't really care for the wraparound. I'm not a fan of Flying Lotus as a filmmaker. I hated fucking Kuso, and I kind of got similar vibes to this one, so I was turned off Ozzy's Dungeon. But I really love the last story, To Hell and Back, with the two friends. They discover the cult of witches. They're in the middle of a fucking ritual. Then they get transported back to hell, and they're trying to get back. But the same deal. If you want to hear more thoughts on this one from me, check out the review. Blood Quantum. Out of all my watches for films this month, I enjoyed Blood Quantum the most. This one's pretty simple. It's natives versus zombies. I was really surprised with how gory this fucking movie is. It's a 9 out of 10 on blood and gore, and it pushes a 10 at times. I was pleasantly surprised by that. Love the characters, had fun with the story. The writing is very wonky at times and could have been a bit better. And it was sad to see a good amount of my favorite characters get killed off, but some of them do survive. So I was like, okay, this isn't one of those movies where everybody fucking dies, because I thought it was going to go there. But I was pretty satisfied with the ending overall. Terrified, the 2017 film. There was a lot of word of mouth with how scary and how frightening this movie is, and I didn't feel it. The movie's mainly about this neighborhood, and there's these creepy things that's going around with the neighbors, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. It's like a supernatural curse type of Spanish film. And I was pretty disappointed after reading all these reviews that were saying how scary it was. There's one plot point with this corpse of a boy who somehow manages to make his way back to his home. And it builds into this mystery where we try to figure out how this boy got back home. I thought this was pretty interesting and had some good potential. And I do like some shots of how the boy's just sitting there at the dinner table. I thought that was a bit creepy and pretty well done. But I can't remember anything with the plot point of the boy going anywhere. Despite one or two moments of violence, one of them being pretty early on, this movie's pretty fucking boring. One Cut of the Dead. I've heard so many great things about this movie. The rating is high on IMDb. Heard from one or two friends that this was great. But I did not care for this movie at all. If there's two things that I'll give credit for, is the one-take style in the first half of the film. Maybe I'm dumb because I expected actual zombies in the film, but there are no zombies in this movie whatsoever. It's about a film crew trying to make a zombie movie where actual zombies break out on the film crew in the movie. The first half, we're thinking that this actually happens, but the second half is them saying, oh, it's a movie within the movie. And the last half is them doing the behind the scenes of trying to make this zombie movie work. And I didn't care for this movie. I didn't really laugh. I didn't think it was funny. I know this is pretty dumb to say for this mock type of film that knows it's trying to be a mock film. But I wanted real fucking zombies. I don't want to stay around watching these people film their zombie movie. I want to save my frustration for this movie in a review later. And the last movie I saw was The New York Ripper. Long story short, I had problems with the movie. but there's also things I like. I had heard about how brutal the kills are in this movie, and they are. I'm a blood and gore guy in movies, so I got my fix. But there's not much else to run home about in this film. The killer disguising himself with a Donald Duck voice is extremely goofy, and it was very hard not to laugh when he would try to intimidate our lead character or his victims. But I'm gonna save my further thoughts for a later review. The two games I beat were the original Saints Row and Saints Row 2. I think both of these games are incredible. One is one of my favorite games of all time, and 2 isn't far from that. Technically, 2 edges out 1 with the better graphics and the updates. Better character customization, more colors, more cars, more gear, etc. in the second one. But I got so much personal nostalgia driven with the first game. Another thing these two share for me are the awesome writing, the story, characters are very fun, the dialogue is very snappy, the cutscenes are just great to watch. But I do have some problems with 2. How they deal with Julius's character, how they deal with Troy and make him the chief of police, I didn't really care for. I did like how he had the Saints back, but I just felt Troy was too cool of a character in the first one to turn into the chief of police. I don't like that Julius betrays you at the end of the first one, and I am aware that the original plan wasn't for his character to betray you. If I'm correct, somebody pulled a last-minute switcheroo on Julius and what he does with your character in the script. They pulled a last-minute thing with the developers, if I'm not mistaken. And I would have loved to see Julius more in the second one. He's only a side quest mission that you have to really take time and look for. But those are my nitpicks with 2. I still think it's a 10 out of 10 game. But that's it, y'all. Those were the movies I watched and the 2 games that I beat in October. Subscribe for more nerdy FRO talk. I appreciate y'all. Peace.